Good morning, everyone. A little overcast this morning. I'm getting a little bit of a late start. Kind of slept in a little bit. Part of it. Anyway, we got the truck changed up a little bit. Only 2 days in, and I already had traps thrown everywhere and tangled together. So I'm kind of organized again. Pulled some of those empty crates out. I've grabbed some smaller traps, some land traps, land leg hold traps here. I've got some smaller. Even smaller traps, 1.5, some number 11s. We're gonna maybe target some mink and some smaller water animals today. We threw in some drowning rods. We've got our bigger beaver drowning rods. We got these smaller rods that I picked up over the summer, and I've got them rigged up with some small long springs. And we've seen a few places where we might pick up some mink, so we may try to set some of these drowning rods out and see if we can't pick up some mink. Got my blue barrel in here. It looks like we got a pretty decent rain last night, so I don't know how wet those soybeans will be that we found, but I've got my barrel in here and a shovel, and if they're not too wet, I'm gonna load my barrel back up. But guys, I've stretched myself too thin. What's happened is the night before I went to set traps, I was contacted by the watershed district manager, and he told me about a group of beavers that were down there wanting me to get them set. Well, I had plans to leave the house and head in the other direction with my line, but I thought I would get down there. It's that first place we set with the snares on the side of the road. So what I was hoping was I would get down there in a couple of days. I could pick a couple of beaver up, be able to send him pictures, say I got a couple out of here, and then pull them and move everything back to my original spot that I wanted to trap. But what's happened, I've set those down there, and I'm making a 30-mile trip just down there and then turn around, having to double back on my line to head back the other direction. So it's not efficient. So what we're going to do this morning is I'm going to get down there, catch or not, no matter what's going on, we're going to pull those traps. That second location where we caught the otter, we're going to pull those traps. And we're going to shift everything to that one area where I can set hard and set right. What's happened with me being stretched thin is I've got a few sets down there, a few sets here, a few sets here, a few sets here, a few sets here, and none of them are really set up to hammer the animal quickly. What I want to do to be efficient is stay in one area, hammer them hard for a week or two, get the majority, if not all of them, caught out of there, and then shift those traps to another area. So that's the original plan, but it didn't work. It hasn't worked out so far, but we're going to try to change that this morning, get those traps moved, get some more sets put in. I don't know how much I'm going to be filming today. I'll film the sets that I got if we got any catches. I'll film some of the new sets that I'm putting in, and but I don't know how much I'm going to be doing. But we're going to change things up today. We're going to get started on the right track this morning. And the holidays, Thanksgiving's over now. So some of those other things that I had to be doing is over, and I can concentrate on trapping. And that's what I want to do for a little while. Just try to get some of these animals knocked down. But anyway, guys, stick with me, and we'll get over here and get started this morning. All right, guys, this right here is what we've been hoping to see. We've got a beaver right here in a 330, and then this trap we swapped out yesterday on top of them, we got another beaver waiting on us right down here, and hopefully there's a third one in that culvert. I'm gonna get my waders on and get down here and get these beaver taken care of. Guys, those other locations we've been at, I pulled both of those first locations this morning. My trap line's been 70-mile round trip every day, and that's just too much to concentrate and hit the areas hard like I need to every day. We're going to get down here, probably leave these set one more day. This is going to make number 5 beaver out of here, and if there's one in the culvert, that'll be 6. We'll leave them set here as long as they're catching beaver, but as soon as they stop producing, we're going to pull these sets too and move them over to that one area where those other 3 set locations are. We found new colonies. I found new colonies over there yesterday, and the ones that we're setting, we're not catching like we need to, so we need to get more sets put out there. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna get my waders on, get down here, get these guys taken care of, get them reset. Step down here, check this culvert, and we don't have a catch in here. We've got a miss. Our trap's turned upside down right there. So I'm gonna get in there and get it set back in there. All right, guys, I'm tired of driving around in the truck all the time. I'm spending doing that instead of getting sets put out. So we're here at a new location we're gonna set. You guys will remember this. I was actually over there when I filmed back 3 weeks ago when we were out here scouting. We come to this location, this culvert was pulled out, and the farmers had just cleaned this dam out of here. You can remember this completely dry. I was talking about setting traps in there, the farmer coming back in behind you. But anyway, you can tell just within these 2 or 3 weeks, those beaver have come back in here and plugged this back up. So we can see a bunch of peeled sticks in here, so we know there's a lot of activity. So we're gonna go down through here and make some sets. We've got some otter scat right up here on top of this run where the otters are coming out. So we're gonna place a set right down here. We'll probably put it on a drowning rod. We're just gonna work our way right up this ditch, see if we can find some more of these spots where they're coming out at, and put us some castor mounds and some scent on it and see if we can't get some of these beaver caught. Now, all these new locations we're going to be setting today are all within an 8 or 10 mile radius of all the rest of the set locations I've got set already. So my intent is to get in here and get all of these locations that I want to get set for beaver. And then each day as we're coming along checking those sets, I can start adding some predator sets, some different species sets, and catch that fur while we're in the area as well. It's going to be a little bit different than what we've been doing, so I'm going to put a drowning rod or 2 in here. So I'll show you the making of those sets, and then get some more sets put in, and we're going to keep moving along, try to get a lot of this stuff set that I should have already had done. TS85 attached to this drowning rig. We just got a split ring that attaches it to the mechanism that slides. I'm just going to step right down in here. I know this is really deep right here from past experiences, so I got to be careful on this edge. See if I can get down here and get a foothold without sliding off into that deep stuff. So what I'm going to do, guys, is just take my foot and push out a flat trap bed right at the bottom of this slide for my trap to set in. Alright, just like that. Now we're going to take that drowning rod, we're going to stick it out there and push that end down into the mud. I'm going to go a little bit farther out. That way I can get this end attached. A little bit too far out. A little rusty. Alright, guys. So we got that end stuck in the mud. We're going to take our stake and we're going to secure this end up here on the bank. Alright, as far as I can get that thing to go down, we'll make it work. I'll get this trap set here. Alright, guys. I'm just going to push that rod all the way down to the bottom of that anchor. A lot of times when trapping, it's easier said than done. All right, so got that anchor out of the way, hidden. I'm using that pad where that trap's gonna go for a footstep. So I'm gonna wait just a minute. If I slide off any farther than this, it's gonna be over my waders. Guys, I'm just gonna come right up here on this bank. I'm gonna place a bunch of fresh mud. And what I'm doing is imitating what a beaver does naturally when they mark their territory. Making a castor mound up here. It's just fresh mud, debris, whatever's on the bottom of the, whatever's available to them. Sometimes you'll see them made out of leaves and sticks. It's just a mound that beaver puts up here, marking that territory. We're gonna take us, we've got it pretty tore up where our knee was sliding around here. That's good. We're gonna reach in here and get us some castor. And we're just gonna put us some castor on top of that mound. And that's just a gland that the beaver has inside him, a castor gland. And that's what he uses to say, hey, this is mine. So we're imitating a new beaver coming in here, saying, hey, claiming this area, saying this is my area. Guys, just that stake, I don't think it matters much. What we're gonna do is just camouflage it in a little bit with some sticks and some grass. That stick also will serve the purpose. I got it between my stake and my chain. I don't want it in there real tight, but it'll serve the purpose of keeping me having to climb down this hill every day to feel for the trap. I don't know if that stick is gone, that the trap itself is gone. So, all right, we got that done. We're gonna take that trap and we're gonna lay it right down at the bottom of that where we made that pad. Now we're gonna try to figure out how to get out of here without getting our foot in that trap. Guys, that set's made. I'm gonna pull on down here, find another one of these runs that they're using to come up out of here. They're still building this dam, so it's fresh, soft mud. It's not packed in. We're not gonna be able to find a crossover. And I don't want to wade on that soft mud, so I'm gonna leave that be. And we're gonna go up here and locate another spot, put another set in here. That dam's just right down here, guys. I'm up here where the stitch turns and goes back through the woods. I'm just gonna walk between here and there, try to find me another location where a slide's coming out and we can set that trap. Guys, there's been some comments about my huffing and puffing right here. So we're gonna place another trap right down here where they're coming out. We'll go ahead and walk, see if there might be a couple more. But there's been some comments about how irritating and annoying my heavy breathing is, and I have to agree. When I'm editing the videos and doing these videos, it's annoying to me hearing myself huff and puff like I do, and I didn't realize I'd done it until I started making YouTube videos. But it's work out here, guys. Right here's just another little slide they're using. You can tell where the dirt's not packed down, it's scattered down through there. It's not as heavy as that last one, but it's one they're using already. But it irritates me too, guys. I know it's there. There's nothing I can do about it. It's part of being a beaver and a water trapper. You're out here up and down these big ditches, wading through knee deep, thigh deep mud sometimes. And if any of you guys can do that day in, day out for hours without huffing and puffing, I want you to make a video, put it on your YouTube page, let me know it's on there, and I want to go watch it, okay? So please do that for me. I would appreciate it. But anyway, guys, we're almost back down here to this dam now. Haven't seen any more crawl outs when they're coming out of there. So I'm gonna get back down here, we're gonna get that one, that heavy one that we used, we're gonna get it set the very same way we just did that one I put in with a drowning rod and foothold. And then we're gonna get on over here and check that colony that we've got all them dams set on. pulled I believe we've got one beaver out of there so far, a couple of muskrats. Crossover, and I see a dam right up there. I'm sorry, this crawl out here, just like we did that other one. I see a dam right up here, and that dam looks like it's got a defined crossover already in it. Right here's a bank den, guys. We're going to grab a 330 and we're going to put in that bank den before we leave. Right here's another bank den, guys, and another. So we're gonna place a 330 right here in front, or I'm sorry, our plans just got changed, guys. This water's not going to be deep enough for me to put this drowning rod out here. Well, it may be on this edge. We're just a little bit over knee deep when we're in that beaver run here. So we're going to give it a try. We'll give it one morning try with this drowning rod since we got it in our hands. Since we know it's a possibility that you're not going to drown, we won't really be sure to stick that end in the mud good. We're going to come up here. We want to get it anchored good. All the way down. Right here, you guys can see that little crossover that they're using. Right here behind it, guys, see how that log's there naturally? They're going over this dam, going down and underneath those logs right there. So here in a minute, we're going to grab us a couple 330s and we're going to set in these bank dens behind me. And then we may bring another 330, see where their run is underneath this debris right here. We'll set that 330 right in that run. So if we get a catch here, this trap is out of play because it's got a beaver or an otter or a muskrat or a coon in it, then we've got a contingency plan and got another trap sitting right here behind this one that's going to catch that next beaver that comes through. All right, guys, so I got that trap in there. I'm gonna come right here where my trap attaches to this drowning rod, that mechanism. Find it, I'm gonna place this stick right in front of that spot. And again, that's just for me being able to recognize that trap's gone. 30 here. I'm gonna carefully work my way down to that side of that dam. I'm gonna step right off in this hole. I'm gonna try to determine where that run is that those beavers are using with my feet. All right, how do I know where that run's at? It's gonna be the deepest channel there. And I'm in it. So right here's the middle of that channel. It gets shallow here. It gets shallow here, so those beavers are going right through there. And that's where I want to place this 330 at. All right, we're going to keep up with where our anchor's at. We're just going to anchor it to this log that's going over it here in just a second. Take this trap, I'm going to place it. Make sure my safeties are off. I'm going to place this trap right where the action part of the trap, the jaws, are sitting right in that run. Just like that. I'm going to grab a couple of these sticks that are laying here already. I'm going to come through here just like I do all my conifers. I'm going to anchor it through that corner. I'm going to grab me another one. I'm going to anchor it through this corner, down through the spring, and into the mud. Just like that, guys. That guy's set. We don't have to put a dive stick over the top of it because there's already a natural one here that these beaver that live in this area are already used to going under. So we're just going to take this trap. We got two of these logs right here, so we're just going to catch both of them. We're going to wrap that cable around it, anchor that trap to itself, and there we go, guys. We've got another set here working. Now, guys, I've been I've been trapping this one particular spot for many years now, and I'm pretty confident that this isn't the main house where those beavers are living. But that being said, we're gonna set them anyway because they're right here where we're at anyway, and they will produce fur. So we're gonna leave that one unset. There's 3 of them right here together. We're gonna leave that one unset. We're gonna place one 330 in this one, and we're gonna place another 330 in this one. Guys, all I'm gonna do is what I've been doing. Place this conibear right there in front of that hole. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually make this a scented set. We're not just gonna set the hole and hope that the animal goes in or out automatically just because they're in the area and they see a hole. So we're gonna take some of this beaver castor lure right here. We're gonna find us a pretty decent long stick. I'm gonna get a pretty decent go. I want it to be on that stick and halfway stay on that stick. I'm gonna reach right inside this hole, guys, and I'm gonna place that castor lure. I'm gonna push that clean into the stick, into the side of this cavity. And the dirt's breaking loose on me. All right, there we go, we got it. So now, not only is any animal that comes by might be curious of this hole, but we just added another curiosity to him with that stick right there sticking in that hole with that scent on it. So he's gonna see that hole, he's gonna smell that scent, and he's gonna want to investigate that hole more. We're gonna do the same thing right here, guys. All right, guys, today's goal has been being more efficient out here on our line. So what I've done, I've come all the way down here to the end, turned around so that I can come by each one of these sets and look at it outside the truck window. That one's still set, without having to get out of the truck every time. All right, that one's got a muskrat in it. So just that little bit of not having to get out of that truck on that last set saved us, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes on our line. And that little bit of time makes a huge difference, guys. So we're gonna grab our setters here. And guys, you do not have to be a tough man and set those 330s by hand, or conibears, even these smaller ones, these 110s and 220s. Save a little bit of your energy and get you a pair of setters. This has got a white tip tail on it too, guys. I don't know if y'all noticed yesterday that one we caught had a white tip tail on it. But anyway, these setters will save you. Again, they are more efficient. It'll save your energy to be used later. It'll save your time to speed you up so you can get things done faster. So just think of ways that you can be more efficient on your trap line. Oh my gosh, gonna get this set and hop back in the truck, drive by that next dam up there, and hopefully there's a catch in it. We got to get back out again. Pretty good size right there. Again, I'm pretty confident, guys, that those misses that we're having on those 330s are because of those guys right there. I knew there was going to be a pretty healthy population of them in this ditch. Grabbing all those new traps this morning, I still didn't grab a colony trap. I need to get a colony trap out here and just set in these runs and try to get some of those dudes picked up real quick to keep keep them from messing with all my beaver sets. Oh, speaking of the huffing and puffing guys from earlier, my old Dodge truck I've been driving since I started. I've got a 89 Mitsubishi Montero that I like to use out here, 4-wheel drive, and get it all set up. I like using it on my trap line, but opening morning I went to jump in it and it wouldn't start. And I had to get everything moved out of it and put into this truck, and I've been using it. Haven't taken the time to figure out what's wrong with that Mitsubishi. But this old Dodge truck, like me, it likes to huff and puff and grunt as well, and doesn't do worth a darn on gas mileage. And the way gas prices are these days, that in itself is reason enough to not be driving a lot of miles out here. Don't be too hard on me for saying this, but this right here is kind of my highlight for today. I was looking forward to getting down here and being able to harvest some of these soybeans. We hadn't got enough rain that's hurt them, and there's a couple of bushes laying out here on the ground. It wasn't worth it to the farmer to come back up here and take the time to scoop up. So we're going to take a few minutes out of our day and fill this barrel up with some soybeans. We're just going to keep on moving right down here to this next dam, and this is the one we put the flag on that foothold. Don't know if it's going to work or not, if it's going to scare them off. I think it's been here for a couple of days now and we hadn't made a catch. But I just got a glimpse, guys, and that flag is not sitting there this morning. So something happened here. Hopefully we got a catch, and we'll get down here and see. I'm not seeing anything. It was a foothold anchored, and I'm not seeing, if we caught a beaver in it, it should be live up here on the bank somewhere. I'm not seeing it. So we'll get down here and see if we can possibly tell what's happened. Alright guys, I can see my anchor cables all, well, I see something else there, guys, and this is something you got to keep an eye out down here in the swamps of the south. Even though the temperature is cold, look right there on the ground behind that anchor. Now, he's not really active. He's going to be slow moving, but it's something you want to have in the back of your mind to keep an eye out from. Now I can see my trap. It's just tripped, laid right over here on the ground. So that flag didn't keep an animal from investigating, but it may have caused that animal to play with that flag and not come in the exact position that we wanted him to. It's kind of weird, guys. It kind of almost looks like that was the case. I wonder if it wasn't a raccoon coming along, seen that flag and got to playing with it, because that flag was sticking straight up here. Somehow that flag got bent over and it's caught in the jaw itself. So that kind of makes me think. I seen some raccoon tracks coming across that dam last night that were inside my footprints. So that kind of makes me think that's what happened. But anyway, I'm gonna get it reset here. I'm gonna stand that flag back up, and we're gonna give it another go. All right, guys, we made it back down here to these logs where we caught that beaver that first morning on this this trail going under this log. But staying on the efficient theme this morning, this mud right here in this area, these are perfect ideal spots, and I would like to leave these traps set here. But that being said, this mud, me stepping off in here and crossing this channel, going through mud above my knee is not very efficient or good for my body. So I'm gonna pull these traps this morning, and we're gonna we've actually caught 2 adult beavers out of this ditch. And when I was here scouting, this ditch was almost dry. There's only a little bit of water up here on this upper end where we caught that beaver there. And so we may have the beaver that are living in this area caught. There's not just a ton of activity, but there were a few peeled sticks. I'm almost going to bet that's the case. Those 2 beavers, all that was in here. But that being said, if I wanted to, I could move these same traps that are in this mud hole on down here to where it's not so muddy, easier to get to, and I'm not having to wade in this mud. Basically find another spot to set them that can be efficient without wear and tear on my body. If you do a lot of moving and shifting of your traps, you're going to want to have some kind of system to be able to keep up with those. And I've actually got 2 systems. This right here is my main system to keep up with them. It's just Onyx maps on my phone, and I can go in here and mark waypoints on every one of my sets, and then when I pull them, I make sure to take the time to stop and delete those waypoints. And that'll save you some headache, because if you're only running 10, 20 traps, you may be able to keep up with each location. But when you start running a lot of different locations, a lot of different traps, and then you start shifting them around every day to new locations, you're going to want some way to keep up with that. I also keep a logbook, guys, just with my catches, my locations, my catch at each location. And if you wanted to, you could just write down all of your individual set locations at each location in this book, and then just scratch them off as you move them. It actually may be a little bit quicker. All right, guys, made it back here to this ditch that we scouted yesterday and saw the new sign in, or active sign in. It's not new, this has always been here. I'm gonna get down here and make a set somewhere around this dam. I know that there's a banked in right around this corner. I actually tugged a beaver out of it last year in one of my first videos. Had him caught and had to pull him out of that hole. Pretty good sized beaver. So we're going to take a conibear down there with us, foothold down there with us, and see about getting this set. Check these sets here we got on the dam, but I want to take some more traps in with me. I've got another foothold, a conibear here, and a little piece of extension cable in case we need it. And we're gonna, after we get these sets checked on this dam, we're gonna walk this ditch on down a little bit and see if we can find another dam down there or some more set locations a little bit farther down. When I first got started trapping, guys, this right here is what I did. I would just go to a ditch that I knew. I'd get down in the bottom of it and I'd just start walking. And you will find all kinds of locations to set for different types of animals, because every animal in the area is going to be using the water sources. And in my area, these big drainage ditches and rivers, all those animals are using them. Any type of animal we have in the area is going to be in, on, or close to these ditches.